Welcome everybody to the 3/4 mile short track in Richmond, Virginia. We are here at Richmond Raceway. I'm Joshua Coppernell. I'm joined by Adam Kuhn. How you doing, Adam?
Great, as always, Josh, to be joined with you here in the booth.
Yeah, I took a week off last week. Big shout out to Dawson Allen for stepping up and coming along. It was kind of very impromptu, and I appreciate everybody in the team for bearing with me. And that, of course, thank you, Adam, for doing all that you do as well. And, you know, being in the booth with Dawson last week.
Yeah, of course, it was great to be up there with him. He did a great job running the show and joining me, like you said, and calling the race. And it was really fun to have fresh voice up here, I think, and a new perspective as being an active driver in the series, like we talked about a lot last weekend. And he said he was going to have a hard time racing here tonight. Felt like he was going to struggle, and you kind of see that at the practice starts right now, unfortunately, for that 79 machine.
I think Dawson is one you can't count out, though. He's always has times towards the back in practice. Qualifying doesn't qualify the best, but come race time, he's usually on his way up through the field.
Oh yeah, third place finish at Daytona to kick off the season. Was right there at the end, almost got the victory, and it was just so close there. And a top 10 in his last outing at Dover, so obviously a lot of momentum for that driver.
Let's go ahead and bring in last week's winner, Cameron Caldwell. And Adam, I will let you take this one.
Yeah, Cameron here at Richmond after a win at the road course. He kind of talked about it post-race, not really looking forward to this track that much. Top 15 here, well, you were top 10 in time charts, but what do you feel like you got for this race tonight on the long runs?
I don't know. Looking at the time comparisons for now, I think I have solid top 5 long run pace, so I can just kind of keep it disciplined, which that's really the hardest thing to do for me anyway. I can, run all backed off all I want in practice, and then I'll push it too hard in the race. So just kind of need to work on backing it off some in the race, and I should be okay. Yeah, like you said, still not the biggest fan of this track, but feel a little bit better than I did last week, but we'll just have to see how it goes.
What about tonight's race? You think it's going to have a lot of long runs, or we're going to be in the series of cautions like we've seen on the short tracks here in this league?
I don't know. I think after the stage and kind of everyone knows what they got, I think it will probably get a little spread out, kind of like Iowa. But I could really see it going either way. There's a couple new people in here, it looks like, and some people have been having issues so far in practice, so could go either way. I think I, for one, would like it to go down the long run way, but we'll just have to see.
One last question. What do you think you and your team are right now? You haven't had the pace you felt like you've needed after trying to defend this championship, of course. What do you think starting the second half of the season? Obviously a win on the road course last weekend, though.
I feel a lot better about this half of the season, or this half of the regular season, than first half. Has a lot of better tracks for me than the first half did. So I'm looking forward to it. I think we can pick up the pace here, but this first race here is going to be a little rough. I think after that, it'll be pretty good.
Right, thanks, and good luck tonight, of course.
Yep, thanks.
And that was last week's winner, Cameron Caldwell, driver of the 12. I want to actually bring in another guy. Well, actually, we're going to hold off on that and Adam, I'll let you take this interview. This is with Dakota Nolan.
Yeah, it was a third place finish for Dakota Knoll last week at Watkins Glen. We didn't get to talk to him, unfortunately, but for the first time, Dakota, you were able to finish a race. How'd you do it last weekend?
Mostly luck and not being oval. Or oval.
Well, we're back on a short track tonight. What do you think you got for this race at Richmond tonight?
Just hoping to finish, really. Don't do well here, normally.
All right, well, thanks for your time and good luck tonight.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, thanks, Dakota.
And that was Dakota Knoll, driver of the 5. So anyway, I want to bring in somebody talk to. Hey, Alonzo, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, well, sitting P1 on the speed charts in practice so far. Richmond has always been a track that has been really good for you in the past. But we know we got that big name up there, Jason Gracias, who we know is really good at the short tracks. So with your success here at Richmond, how's it going to play off and to be able to try to beat Jason Gracias tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be tough. He's very, very good here. Last time he just completely dominated. Iowa, me and him were running 1 and 2 a lot of the race, and he was definitely faster than me there. And just, I don't know, he just has a knack for these short tracks. He's a really good driver here at these kinds of places, and he's definitely going to be hard to beat. We'll see where we're at as far as speed goes on the long run. If not, we might have to do a little bit of gambling or maybe do a different kind of tire strategy depending on how the cautions come out. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll play it by ear.
How big of a factor do you think the clean air is going to come into play here?
It's going to be pretty big. It's going to be really hard to pass, especially on these longer runs. So clean air is going to be huge, and as well as track position, it's going to be very important. Once you get a few laps under your belt and things start to spread out, it's going to be really, really hard to pass. So it's going to be a luxury.
All right, well, you are our in-race reporter for tonight, so we will be talking to you a little bit later on. We'll let you get back up there with your team for now, and talk to you in a bit.
All right, thank you very much.
That was Alonzo Chicano, driver the number 25 for Vortex, Radius Vortex team. Definitely excited to be back up in the booth. And, you know, some surprising name I'm noticing, Adam, being up in the top 5 in practice times is number 45, Dalton Kelly. Sitting P3 at the moment.
Yeah, that he and that entire team has really been really fast in the last couple weeks. Third at Dover when that entire team ran really strong. Dawson and I talked about that quite a bit last week with him, of course, being a part of that team and that great run at Dover, and he carried it with another top 10 run last week at Watkins Glen.
Dalton Kelly doing pretty good. Might be putting himself into the picture for this race. So far, Practice times, you got Alonso Chicano, Jason Gracias, Dalton Kelly, Michael Krueger, and Zach Probst. All in the top 5. Zach Probst, of course, we know he's really strong at the short tracks. I know we usually do picks to win. We're still going to do that here just a few minutes on the show, but I'm telling you, if I were to have a pick for the pole here at Richmond, I would go with Zach Probst. He's a 2-time pole winner of the season already, and looking to get his 3rd pole win. So I think Zach Probst is a good shot here, being that it's a short track, to put himself one step closer to winning the season-ending JCTV Pole Award win.
Yeah, we of course expect this truck to be pretty solid factor in tonight's race. Jason Gracias, of course, won this race last season, and earlier this year he went to victory lane at Iowa. Very similar track, just a little bit longer than the racetrack here at Richmond.
Yeah, these tracks between Iowa and Richmond, they are very, very similar. As you said, just kind of riding on board with Gracias, who brings it down pit road. Something big happened between Chicano and it looks like Brett Bennett. Alright, let's try this again. I wanted to show an onboard. Watch Alonso Chicano take a couple laps here at Richmond. I'm wondering if this is more of a mock qualifying run, just kind of the way he's driving. See, lap 1, he's really up towards the wall, maybe brushing the wall just a little bit there. I think this time he'll be on the bottom, allowing it to carry more speed, which is exactly what you see. So I believe this is a mock qualifying run out of Alonso Chicano. And just because that was a 22.05. Well, we're under 1 minute. Let's go ahead and do our picks to win. So, Adam, who you got?
I'll go with the 15er, Carl Felver. We have seen him have pretty strong runs quite a few times this season when he's shown up. He's had speed. He's won a stage at California earlier in the season, of course. He hasn't raced much since, unfortunately, but see, as he gets way loose there off of turn 2. He's got a fast lap time right now, and I think he could do it here on the short track tonight.
I think that is a very solid pick. I am going to go with one guy who is very, very good at short tracks. I think he's going to get it done. I really do. Going with Zach Probst. Practice is over. And we go to JCTV qualifying. And no surprise here, as Zach Probst is the first one out there for qualifying.
Seems to be pretty current here in the Pits News Truck Series, and he is, like you mentioned earlier, 2-time poster of this season.
I think right there, what we're seeing and what I've noticed as well, last couple times I have watched him qualify, is that you see him come out of the pits slow. He kind of wiggles his truck a little bit there, trying to put some heat in the tires. First lap, they always call a throwaway lap. And so this lap here, it's not going to be his best lap unless if something drastic happens lap 2. So here he goes at the line. It's going to be a 22-1 for Zach Probst. Now here, as long as he executes correctly through 3 and 4, should be a lot faster. And it was not good enough to put him back up top, but it was a 22.0. Actually dropping another spot to Alonso Chicano.
Dalton Kelly standing on the provisional pole road right now, Josh.
Yep, and
Well, that didn't last long with this truck.
yeah. Not at all. Sorry, Jason Gracias with a 21.89 on lap number 1. .94. So second lap was not as good as the first. Here we got Noah Mary. Sit P4 right now, ran a 22.03 his first lap.
Won the pole a couple weeks ago at Dover, where he got a top 5 finish. Gonna move up to 4th, not enough, Josh.
Not quite enough so far. It's the Jason Gracias show. Here's another strong contender. Last week's winner, Cameron Caldwell.
Said he didn't know where he was on the short run speed, and he didn't really know what the long run speed had. He really off first lap, but I think he was trying to save the tire for this lap here. A lot lower entry into 2 and 3 this time by.
See where it puts him. P9. 22.08. Let's go ahead and do a quick interview. Hey Dawson, it's Josh up at the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, man. Oh, this
Well,
one's gonna be a good one.
Should I be scared?
I mean, I'd be scared because Brett is having a time trying to get this down here, and I think after seeing Watkins Glen and him starting behind people, it probably won't be a good thing.
So what are you expecting tonight there out of the 79 machine?
I'm not expecting a lot. more so I'm just kind of hoping to finish this race. Doesn't matter if it's 20th place out of 20, as long as I'm running at that checkered flag. That's all that matters for this race. I really think this is going to get to a race of attrition where we're going to see a lot of guys fighting with the truck to the point where they may lose it off the corner, maybe a pile up at one point here. But overall, just really happy to get back in the truck here.
All right. Well, just before I put you back up with your teammates, I did just want to once again thank you for helping broadcast last week, running production, and commentating with Adam.
Yeah, man, I had a blast. I had to maybe see about finding some of those races where I can't make it, see if I can just call the race there.
Be pretty cool to have you up in the booth with us.
Yeah. So.
All right. Well, good luck tonight.
All right. Thank you.
That was Dawson Allen, driver of the 79. Let's go ahead and go through our starting grid. Starting on the pole, big shocker. Number 15, Carl Felver. To his outside, Jason Gracias. Starting third is going to be Justin Durand with Dalton Kelly to his outside, and Michael Krueger starting in fifth. Adam?
Behind them is going to be Noah Maori and Alexander Kurfin in row 4. Zach Probst and Cameron Caldwell going to round out the top 10 positions tonight. Jeremy Richmond and Justin Duran round out the top 6 rows.
Brett Bennett and Dakota Knoll will start in row 7, 13th, and 14th. Caleb McCurry starting in row 8 with newcomer Matthew Stotts to his outside. Gabe Gazzola on the inside of row 10 with Andrew Elias to his outside, and Dawson Allen will round out the field tonight. Well, these guys get 2 laps around behind the pace car, as it is a short track, so we're going to go green this time by 250 laps in the MartinPC.com 250. Martin PC is a great place to go if you're looking for gaming computer, or for that matter, really anything that you can find for sim racing on there. Pace cars in. We're going green on the command of Carl Felver. Green flag is out. Carl Felver and Jason Gracias with a great start there. Jason Gracias hanging to the outside of Felver. Felver, good turn into one. Gracias tucks in behind.
Good restart for Felver for him to be able to clear Gracias there going into turn 1 and take the lead, and hopefully he can, for his sake, drive away of that one truck. So you see this battle for 4th with Noah Maori and Justin Duran. A little loose there off the corner, going to allow Duran to dive it into turn 3 on that 8 truck of Noah Maori.
And Noah Maori just hanging to the outside. Wants to try to find a way in as fast as he can. He might be able to get in front of Justin here. Not quite clear. Noah Maori clear now. Just behind Michael Krueger, trying to get around 62, Zach Probst, who's been working that outside lane, and I think actually just passed Krueger using that lane. They're still side by side though. Kruger trying to hang tough out on the inside. Good tuck in the line. And Zach Probst was looking to make a move on Alonso Chicano.
And right ahead, these guys, you see Justin Duran got that spot back around Noah Mayuri. The 8's going to tuck back in line just ahead of Chicano. You see the 62 right on that back tailgate of Alonso Chicano going to turn 1, trying to find a way around. See Noah Mayuri running a higher lane there. Here comes Chicano to the inside into turn 3 of that 8 machine.
Still side by side. Chicano, Mayuri. Chicano trying to roll the bottom. Mayuri doing a great job outside though.
Going way wide into turn 3, and he's going to lose that 5th position now because of that.
Yeah, pressure from teammate Zach Probst. Mayuri will lose the spot. Able to tuck in just ahead of Kerfan, and then gets loose on the exit of turn 2.
And those top 3 just pulled away from the rest of the field really quickly.
Yeah, they have. These top 3 are all under a blanket. Then it's a few car lengths back to Justin Durant.
Alonso Chicano peaked there on the back straightaway of his teammate Justin Duran for that 4th spot, and it looks like they were side by side through turns 3 and 4. There you see it. They continue to go door to door into turn 1, and Chicano, and that is going to move up in that 25 machine, and maybe bring Zach Probst with him there.
Yeah, Zach Probst seeing an easy way around Justin Durant, try to get the spot. We heard it from Alonso Chicano, though. It's going to be hard pass the longer this race goes on. He's trying to get all the spots he possibly can because he knows if Jason Gracias gets to the front, that may be game over. So far, Carl Felver has done a great job at controlling this this race. He's got Gracias right there. About half a truck length back, just kind of sitting there. Not really making any moves, but so far it's been Felver.
And it's kind of stayed this gap between these two RAs. And Dalton Kelly was about the same distance back to Jason Gracias, and now you see he's lost a little bit to these top 2 now.
I'm wondering if Dalton Kelly may have just realized that he might have been pushing a little bit too hard. Decided to back off, see if Felver and Gracias could really run their tires hard.
And he's got enough of a gap out back, he can manage the gap ahead and back, and he's doing it perfectly right now. Just about perfectly in between them both by a second each way.
Zach Probst was looking to make a move on Alonso Chicano, peaked down low, but wasn't quite there. Chicano was able to drive it in to the corner a little bit better than Probst was able to. Probst closed the gap back up. Still looking early entry for that 62 machine. Chicano getting a late turn in the middle of the corner. That's going to help his drive off. Zach Probst is really starting to hound that 25 of Chicano. Probst's been following Chicano for most of this race so far. Now Probst's looking to take advantage of that. We know Probst's really good on the short tracks. Trying to get there, trying to put the move. Just can't do it. Looking underneath. He's there. Chicano, though, with a better exit off the corner from using that higher line, but not sure how much longer Chicano will be able to use that higher line before his tires really start to get mad at him for that.
Definitely the most frustrating part of a run when you look faster than the guy ahead of you. You just can't find an opening to get around him. The truck doesn't have a way to get around him on the outside, or the track just hasn't have enough racing grooves at the time. And you see only one way around right now. And you said, like Alonso said, it's going to get a lot harder to pass once the run goes longer with the tire wearing now. And see, he's losing gap to Chicano right now.
See how different Zach Probst turns into the corner from Alonso Chicano. And you see that the way Chicano exits really helps him on down the straightaway, as I was talking about there. These guys are catching Dalton Kelly. Now they're going to be fighting with Dalton Kelly. Meanwhile, we go up front. Jason Gracias, Carl Felver were just side by side. Gracias goes low. Felver tried blocking. That was almost disastrous. Now they're side by side down the front straightaway.
The hands on that 15 machine are working, and they were all over the place a moment ago, and they still probably will be here off of 2, as they're going to be door-hander to door-hander off this corner, Josh. Not quite. Gracias is going to tuck in line, but still peek into turn 3.
Now Felver is feeling the pressure. You see him there. He does have the better straightaway speed, but he was running a little bit too wide for that to really help his case there on the front straightaway. They are still side by side. It's Gracias with the advantage now. It's Carl Felver. Has to hand that position over.
Yeah, it looks like that 15 truck just won't turn in the corner like he wants it to. He can't get it pointed onto that apron, or towards the apron. He's running that much higher line. You see there, using more of that banking compared to Gracias, and it's just bleeding lap time, unfortunately for him, as he tries to track back down that one machine. Long way to go in this stage, though, fortunately.
Meanwhile, behind them, Alonso Chicano was able to get around Dalton Kelly. I noticed Zach Probst was having a little bit of an issue getting around Kelly, but Probst was able to do so. Just has to track back down the 25 machine if he wants a chance of being in the top 3 when stage happens. Our stage caution is going to be at the end of lap 63, so as you said, there is quite a ways to go.
One driver falling through the pack rapidly is Noah Mayer. He just lost 2 spots at last lap, and he's down about 10 spots from the last time we've seen that 8 truck. There you see him running up towards that safer barrier, going to lose another spot to Andrew Elias, and it's not done yet.
Ooh. Almost into the back of Andrew Elias. Had to get hard on the brakes. That sent him way wide. Now Noah Mayuri goes from 15th to 18th in just that one lap. The only truck behind him is Gabe Cazzola, who is way, way behind this 8 of Noah Mayuri.
And it's just very unfortunate for Noah, who is on a string of very unfortunate luck. 3 straight DNFs, then he was fortunate to get a 5th place at Dover. He won the pole and a stage, but involved in an accident last week with our point leader Joseph Lester, who is not here tonight, Josh. We have not yet mentioned, but that damaged his truck and he fell out of the top 3 or 4 where he was running and had to salvage with a 7th place. And now more problems on that 8 truck like we see here, falling 10 seconds to the leaders really early in this race.
Yeah, nobody wants a caution more than Noah Mary right here. He is falling, just trying to figure out the track, trying to figure out the truck. Back to the leaders. Jason Gracias was able to get the lead away from Carl Felver. We did see that, but Felver has not allowed Gracias to get away from him. Felver is still within about 0.4 of a second every lap.
And now it's over a 2-second gap to that next truck back, so he is gonna. Ooh, he's squirrely there off at turn 2. That's been his trouble spot all night, and I don't think it's gonna get much better as these tires continue to fall off, Josh. Carl Felver's gonna have a hard time, I think, if we get these long runs like we expect.
Yeah, tires are definitely worked here. Using the brakes a lot. And hard cornering into corners here, turns 1 and 3. See the different lines that the drivers have been using. All that plays into how much the tires are going to wear. Jason Gracias seems to be the master of that, though. See, he's going to go ahead and put Gabe Casola a lap down. Michael Krueger, Jeremy Richmond, just behind. Richmond goes wide through 3 and 4. Krueger doing a great job at holding off Richmond. Both these drivers are rookies to the series. Michael Krueger with 2 wins on the season already. I believe Kruger can get himself a good finish here. Kruger might just have points lead. And he'll definitely be leading the rookie standings with Joseph Lester not here tonight.
Yeah, the all-important battle between those two. Oh, he's going to get hooked from the 98, and he's going to save it. What a big save into turn 3, and that was probably incidental contact there as they braked into that corner, and you see the 42 trying to regroup himself now after that, Josh. Wow, what a huge save.
That was some amazing driving out of the 42 of Michael Krueger, who did get a little loose there on the back straightaway as well to make things even worse. But, man, that's a 10 out of 10 save right there for the driver of the 42.
Gonna have a lot of pressure from that 30 truck of Alexander Griffin now, with a little bit of right side damage on that 30 machine, but he is caught that 42 driver now.
Kerfan qualified P8, dropped 1 spot. Krueger qualified P5 and is down to 8th. Richmond, on the other hand, qualified 11th and has worked his way up to 7th. Here we got 4 trucks all battling. Caleb McCurry, Andrew Elias, Dawson Allen, and Matthew Stotts making his series debut. Or did he race last week?
No, this would be his series debut, Josh.
Keep forgetting that I wasn't around last week to know what happened, but yeah, Matthew Stotts in his debut. Currently P17, but he's got all the way up to 14th, just ahead of him. Working his way underneath Caleb McCurry. Curry runs wide.
This fight is rapidly getting caught by our leader, Jason Gracias, of course. He's going to probably get to these trucks, I believe, by the end of the stage. So it will be very interesting to see if Carl Felver, who is now almost 2.5 seconds back, if he's going to be able to run down that one truck in these lapped machines.
Yeah, it's not just a couple of lap trucks that Gracias has to worry about. It's a lot of trucks all grouped together that Gracias has to try to work his way around. With Carl Felver, 2.5 seconds back roughly, kind of there in striking distance if something were to happen to Gracias. Felver has a great chance to get back into it to try to win himself a stage.
Absolutely, and we see Noah Mayuri here a little bit slower than those other pack of trucks, so he should be a lot easier to get around if he aids away for our race leader here. But those trucks ahead of him, all running relatively the same speed, so they will be a lot harder to get through, of course, obviously, and a lot of them inexperienced, like we mentioned just before. Matthew Stotts there, next in line, making his debut tonight.
Take a ride with Jason Gracias. You hear how he's just able to just kind of rolls the center very well, waits a long time before getting back on the gas. Back to this battle between the 42 and the 98. Michael Kruger, Jeremy Richmond. These were the two that got into each other a little bit earlier. Richmond in the back of the 42. Richmond runs way wide to allow Michael Kruger to roll that bottom pretty well. Still side by side. I think Kruger might have an advantage going into one. As Richmond still driving it super wide. Now Kruger's going to be able to clear. Not quite. Gets loose off turn 2. Jeremy Richmond still to the outside of that 42.
Kruger's going to be able to clear him. No, not quite. Richmond has the runoff before Kruger has the better line, of course, running that bottom lane, but he just keeps getting the rear end of his truck losing out from underneath of him on the corner exits. And there you see it's going to happen again down this back straightaway, and just keep allowing that 98 to have the advantage going into each corner, and just slowly and slowly putting on this fight for the fans here, of course. And these two are not giving it up for that 7th spot, but they're letting the last guy in points drive away for the stage.
Yeah, these two are battling hard. Kruger going to settle behind Jeremy Richmond, who once again runs all the way up to that wall.
Justin Durand, who has cracked David Durand, who has cracked the top 10 for the first time tonight, had a moment off a turn 2 a lap ago. He was catching these guys and he almost tagged the wall. If not, he did, and Jeremy Richmond is in the fence, pounded it off a turn 2, and the 42, Michael Kruger, is going to easily clear the 98 because of that now.
That was could be a very costly mistake there for the 98 of Jeremy Richmond. Michael Kruger now has the advantage, just going to try to roll the bottom, try to catch up to Justin Durand, try to get that last stage point.
Gracias has been lapping trucks, and the lead is being closed in slowly. Not that much as Felver would probably like to see. Now it's gone just a little bit up. As you see, 98 still wheeling at that thing. David Durand's going to catch him here shortly. Here's the race leader, Jason Gracias.
Jason Gracias got a couple of lap trucks just ahead. Now the heat is on. You know, the battle for who's going to have the lucky dog is about to be here. Dawson Allen with a big block on Jason Gracias. He does not want Gracias to get by, put him a lap down, because he knows Andrew Elias is right there as well, and Dawson Allen could be out of a lucky dog if Gracias is able to get by.
And now we're at the point of the stage where a lucky dog is, it's palpable. If you do lose that lead lap position, it's right there, and you don't want to lose it by a truck length like he is right now behind that 44 if they get passed by Gracias, who has lost a lot of time. But the 15 is losing the back end of his truck, and he's got 2 more trucks to get around yet.
Here we go at the end of lap 63. Gracias takes it. Now it's just waiting for everybody else to get to the line up to P6. And there's the caution. So, the reason you're Dawson Allen and you make that block is for that reason right there. That is to save yourself from going a lap down. Not a bad move. Could have been sketchy, could have been pretty bad for the 79. Gracias did a great job with awareness there, making sure he did not get in the back at the 79. Dawson Allen did a great job at making sure he didn't do anything crazy, too awfully crazy in front of the one. That right there was a move that kept Allen and Elias on the lead lap, and Caleb McCurry be the lucky dog because of that. Pit road is open and everybody is coming down as expected. And it was going to be a close one, but Jason Gracias got it. Carl Felver second, Zach Probst third, Alonso Chicano fourth, Dalton Kelly fifth, Justin Durand sixth, Kruger seventh, David Durand eighth, Cameron Caldwell ninth, Dakota Knoll 10th. Hey Jason, it's Josh up in the booth. You got a copy?
Loud and clear, buddy.
Hey, big stage win there for you. You was riding behind Carl Felver for the beginning portions of that stage before making a move. Once again, another fast truck. What you got tonight?
Truck's good so far. It turns pretty well. So I would like to see a full fuel run though to see how that things shake out. But as of right now, on that half stint, feels pretty good out here.
So we've seen some crazy things towards the end of these races, but mostly clean throughout. Currently, I'm sure his strategy is about the same as everybody else. But, you know, late in this race, what could play out?
If we get cautions towards the end, you'll see a lot more aggression going in the turns. I know there's a couple times there on that run at least. I almost ran into the guy in front of me just by misjudging his entry. So as this race gets later in the run, you'll probably see more and more guys getting run over if we have late cautions.
All right, well, it is 1 to green. Just took the juice. We'll let you go back up in there with your teammates.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, just shout out to C2 Graphics. Let's go C2 Graphics.
That was Jason Gracias, winner of stage 1, still leading this race. Gracias chose the outside, Felver to the inside. Probst also chose the inside, and Alonso Chicano chose it outside to be right behind that one.
Real quick, Josh, what a great observation he made about, well, a great point he made about almost running ahead into the guy ahead of him, Carl Felver. Of course, we saw that with the 42 earlier and the 98 Jeremy Richmond, so we'll should see it a lot later in the race, and a huge jump for Gracias on this restart.
And I think that was a teammate move as well, letting his teammate of Alonso Chicano know he was going, because Chicano, he took off out of the gate as well.
Yeah, and he left Carl Felver with the Wolves. He's side by side with Zach Probst, and they got Justin Duran right behind him. Now it looks like Felver is cleared for that position, and he's going to try and hunt that 25 and reclaim that position back if he can.
Michael Krueger rolling the bottom underneath David Durand. Krueger, we've seen him on the bottom all race long so far. Nothing changing out of that 42 machine.
Hopefully with his fresh tires here on this restart, he has a little bit more rear stability. It looks pretty smooth there off of 2 this time, but he still can't get a run on that 24 machine to get around him, and leaving that Duran truck with a little bit of advantage. A little loose there through the center of the corner there, it looked like.
Right now, these drivers have cold tires. Ran a couple laps to allow them to get up to temperature, so they should start to stable out. Krueger still rolling the bottom underneath David Durand. Almost has that spot completely to himself. This is the battle for P7. Dakota no hard in the wall. Kurfan, Bennett, Dawson Allen.
Huge stack up on the back straightaway. The track was congested, and you see the carnage, no caution flag because everyone kept it straight, it appears, and a ton of torn up trucks, and that is Alexander Kurfan with continuous streak of bad luck, and Dakota No, of course. Now the caution flies probably from the admins after that pile up.
Yeah, I do believe that would be an admin thrown caution. That was for the incident. We will go back and watch what happened. Dakota Knoll just ran wide, got into the wall, and came down.
Man, a lot of guys had nowhere to go, like Dawson Allen, who just ramped right in the back of that truck. Wow. And Alexander Griffin just barely got involved in it there. Oh, nowhere to go. You see that? And he didn't get much damage, it looks like, until... Well, that right side was already beat up beforehand, but...
Just ahead, this is Brett Bennett.
Oh, and you see Dawson Allen nowhere to go, and he flew right in there pretty much, because blindsided him, I'm sure.
This is a track, really, once you're committed to a certain line, you can just change it in the middle of a corner. And I think that's why Dawson Allen was involved there.
And we saw Jeremy Richmond do that same exact thing that Dakota Nolan unfortunately did. Just got tight, excuse me, and pushed on the exit of the corner, hit the fence. Unfortunately for Dakota, unlike Jeremy's incident, he had a pack of trucks right on him when that contact was made, and like you saw, nowhere for those guys to go. And like we mentioned, he already committed. You can't slow down enough to avoid it.
I believe we are coming up to the choose cone. Let me show you guys. We did see the choose cone already, but this is how they pick the areas where they want to be, and the red is where they don't want to be. And actually, that is not the lap they're going to choose. Should be this time by, though. I see Andrew Elias getting around to get his lap back. Let's go ahead and bring in our in-race reporter, Adam, if you want to take this one.
Yeah, Alonzo, you're up to P2. How do you feel with the truck right now, and what do you need to get around Jason?
Yeah, we're up to P2. We had a really good restart. It was a little bit of teamwork from Jason to help me and Justin out, which ended up definitely working in our favor. But I don't know. I think we definitely need some sort of caution to come out and for me to be off the same strategy as him, just because he's just fast enough for me to just not really pass him off of pace, I think.
All right, well, good luck. One lap to the restart here. Get back up to your teammates here.
All right, thank you.
That was
Taking the outside lane, Josh. He's going to restart P4 or third, second on the outside, of course.
Yeah, he will. In what is that P4 position? Another great restart there out of Gracias, but Felver was prepared this time. Felver not wanting to see any games being played underneath the 25 of Alonzo Chicano.
And Zach Probst and Dalton Kelly were a lot more prepared this time, too. They are two by two right here trying to pounce on that 15 and 25 machines in those top 5 positions. Felver's going to clear them all, and why they still scrap for what is now third spot. Kind of looking to the inside, can't quite do it. They have a lap truck ahead of them. Andrew Elias, who was involved in that incident, I believe, a little bit of contact. He is just ahead of these guys. He got the waiver on, and he's right ahead of them again, Josh.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with Andrew Elias' truck. He was not involved as he was the lucky dog that time, but he's already in a play of how this race turns out with P2 on back. And unfortunately, not for his benefit.
Again, he's lost 2 laps since that incident has come out, or since he's waved by to get that lucky dog. So very interesting here on this restart, and unfortunate for him, Alonso's gonna get sideways there off the corner. Now Felver is trying desperately to get around this 44 machine.
And pressure from Zach Probst looking underneath the 25. Chicano sends it in a little bit harder into the corner than the 62, Zach Probst. That allows Chicano to get the run off, who now has pulled away from the 62, looking underneath 44, Vander Elias, who is that lap truck. Finally getting around that lap truck of Andrew Elias. Now Zach Probst pulls down to the inside. Trying to get around Andrew Elias as well. Probst able to clear.
Including the lap truck, pretty much single file throughout all of the lead lap machines. You see the 44 guy on the wall there, allowing quite a few people to get around him on the front straightaway. Now racing David Durand in that 24 down the back straightaway.
I was just going to say, you got Michael Krueger here sitting P7, looking to get around Justin Rand for 6th spot. Justin qualified P3. Having himself an alright night so far. Well, Adam, I think it's time for one of my favorite things. That is, turn it up. Jason Gracias still not pulling away from the drivers behind. Carl Felber sitting P2, Alonso Chicano P3. They are both right there with Jason Gracias. Felber sideways off turn 2.
Yeah, I'm very impressed to see these three stay this tight. We saw it kind of at the beginning of the race, but I feel like it's a lot deeper into the run than what started it, to see three trucks run this close up front. See, Gracias running a little bit of a higher line now, too. He's migrating up just a little bit while Felver and Chicano continue to ride that yellow line, at least through turns 1 and 2, and Chicano still through 3, at least.
Well, let's go to the infield. Hey Dawson, not the way you wanted your race to end tonight, but you got checked out. And they let you out of the infield care center, so I'm guessing good things came out of that.
I mean, you could say good things came out of it. I walked out the doors A-okay, I guess. They looked at my brain and said it was good. So, no, just really devastated, man. Felt like I had a good run going there. Felt like that wasn't, not race-winning speed, maybe a top 10 coming there. Truck felt really good, and the runs just felt awesome as that race was going on. And then just, I think Noel missed a corner, overdrove it, and when he got to wall, we just all kind of stacked up and we had nowhere to go. So, disappointing way to end it.
Well, next week we go to Homestead, so 1.5-mile track. Get away from the short track and road courses, go back to some speedways. So, looking forward. What is the thought process? Any of the upcoming races that you have circled on the calendar?
I mean, there's a couple races I got my eyes on here. Homestead's always a really fun track to race at. Michigan is the one I'm eyeing big time here. I feel like Michigan I'll be able to make a really good run and do something with, especially looking ahead to Lucas Oil again. I had a really good run there last year, so I feel like got a couple races here coming up that we can bounce back and see if we can't run up there and contend for a top 5. So
definitely should be some exciting races coming up. I know Michigan is one I'm looking forward to myself in a couple weeks. Maybe be out there trading some paint with you.
sounds like we might have to put a bit of a wager on that one.
I finished, what was it, P15 last year? Or last season? I led some laps, so maybe we'll have to, but definitely looking forward to some of the races coming up. For sure.
Oh, yeah. Looks like a battle brewing for second there. Felver and Chicano starting to heat up a little more here.
I said these guys were continuing to run the bottom now. They've all kind of moved up, and they have stayed pretty close to Jason still, but I think it's going to open up pretty soon with that one truck pulling away, if he can.
Well, Dawson, you started calling the race. Not sure if you want to go back up there with your teammates or stay up here with us. You're definitely welcome to do so. But
I mean, I have no issue staying here and helping give a little call, give a second set of eyes here on this track, because there's been action all over the place. battles back and forth with some teammates here. David Rand and Cameron Caldwell, they're back battling for the 8th position. Action all over the track, even if, the run out front, it's a straight line, you still got battles everywhere at these short tracks, and that's what's so fun about them is, it's battling everywhere, everybody's not wanting to give an inch. Everybody wants to battle. The 24 there just got the wall out of 2, it looked like. But, everybody pushing hard as they can, trying to get any spot.
What was it like? Of course, obviously you didn't race last week as you were up here in the booth. But what's it like, the transition for these drivers going from Watkins Glen to here at Richmond, the short track?
It is equal parts huge, and it is equal parts the exact same because, those road courses, you gotta battle to maintain the truck and kind of keep it, nice and steady. You don't want to upset it too much. And that's kind of the same thing here. You really want to be easy with it. You want to kind of not necessarily baby it around, but you want to take care of the truck, make sure it can stay good and clean and ready to go to the end of the race. So it's definitely a battle to finish some of these races, especially a race that's 250 laps at Richmond. It's a very long battle of attrition. So, it's just about the same as it was at Watkins Glen.
See here, the top 3 still within a second of each other. Alonzo Chicano trying to put a little bit of pressure on Carl Felver. Maybe. He is just kind of closing that gap ever so slightly.
What I'm looking at right now, a battle brewing for the 6th position. Michael Krueger coming to the back bumper now of Justin Duran. He's slowly creeping up on him here. So might have a change for the 6th place in a short time.
Michael Krueger's been doing a really good job this race as well. Just hanging about towards the back end of the top 10. Of course, had a big save earlier in the race after contact with Jeremy Richmond. Yeah, Krueger's doing a great job, really rolling the bottom pretty well.
Yeah, like you mentioned, he's been running right about there all race. He's moved up just a couple of spots, but he is running down that 20 truck like you mentioned. You see that big old cave in the center of that rear of the truck from that contact, and wonder if that's going to hurt him just a little bit. Obviously not just cosmetic damage to that 42 machine, but he is losing. We've seen him with the rear of that truck all over the place all night, and wonder if that's only going to make it worse for him as the long runs continue.
The biggest thing I was looking at there, Adam, was the damage to the spoiler on that 42, and it doesn't look too significant. And with this being a short track, I don't think that is going to play a huge factor into the speed out of the 42 machine for Michael Krueger. So he is starting to put pressure on Justin Durand. Once again, you really see the 2 different lines that the drivers are running. Michael Krueger been really painting that yellow line all night long. Krueger's there. He just needs to get a little bit closer to try to pounce going into corner.
Yeah, we saw this earlier with Michael Krueger. It's just so hard to pass this deep in the run, and that's what Alonzo alluded to at the top of the show. It just gets so narrow, this racetrack, and it's tire where everyone's just searching for the same place of real estate, pretty much, right, Dawson?
Oh yeah, everybody's trying to fight for that one line you want to take to get the best run. You know, hooking that bottom lane, that yellow line right there in the corner is you know, that's where the speed's at. So you'll see a couple guys try to move around without any success. You know, there's a possibility you can get a run off of 3 and 4 in the top lane, but you know it's slim to none because you got to pass them on the outside in 1 and 2 because you won't clear them. So that bottom lane is very much where you want to be, and it's really hard to get underneath somebody here with everybody running the same line.
Huge slip from Justin Duran right there. He missed the bottom, and that's going to allow Kruger to finally put his nose to the fight here. And they can't stay side by side for long, though.
Yeah, I think Justin Durant actually might have just caught the wall a little bit, and that allowed him to miss the corner. We are halfway through MartinPC.com 250. And pressure from Michael Kruger on Justin Durant for P6. Big slide out of the 42.
Giving everything he has to try to get that position because, you know, when you get that opportunity, you want to take it as quick as possible. So he's going to try everything he can to get by this 20 truck of Durand.
Justin Durand, he feels that pressure. He's using as much of the track as he possibly can. Try to keep that 42 behind, trying to find grip. Richmond is about... Go ahead, Dawson.
I was going to say, in a situation like right now, I mean, you can roll up on the guy and you can get right there with them. And, you know, you're probably not going to do much. You know, it's lap 129. You still got about 130-something laps to go here. You know, when the laps start ticking down and you start getting later in this run here, you're not going to be as nice about just giving room there as these runs go on.
We have a driver coming down pit road. It is going to be Jeremy Richmond, who was on the lead lap there. And Alonso Chicano also down pit road.
One lap here at Richmond could be very beneficial for him. He was not that far behind Carl Felber for that second spot. Now you see that 12 machine rolling down pit road as well.
4 tires and fuel is the key here. Jeremy Richmond already off in a way. Alonso Chicano as well.
More takers possibly here coming in. Looks like 24, David Durand is in on pit road.
Looks like David Durand was the only one that elected to come in that time.
Looks like Cameron Caldwell pulling off a pit road here there.
And the big danger about pitting here at Richmond under green, of course, is losing 2 laps at least. If you're not right behind the leaders, see Alonso was able to maintain just 1 lap down while Cameron's down 2.
Yeah, but the big battle is going to be with those fresh tires. You're going to have better drives in the corner. You're going to have to take those opportunities as quick as you can because you let a caution come out and catch you a lap down. I mean, you're not going to be able to recover that easy.
Absolutely not, especially with how few trucks we have running and the green flag runs we're bound to see in the second half of this race.
See Alonso Chicano already making it around Jeremy Richmond, who is 2 laps down. Chicano only that 1 lap down. As you mentioned, Adam, right now, if caution were to come out, Caleb McCurry would be the lucky dog. McCurry has not come down pit road.
Justin Durand on pit road right now getting his service done. So that'll move Chicano up to the 7th position. Still not the lucky dog position here as Caleb McCurry is still out on track, where Chicano is just now entering into turn 3. McCurry is coming across the start-finish line, so he's going to have a little bit of time he's going to have to gain on this 29 truck, and he's going to want to do it as quick as possible. He does not want to be in that position to stay down a lap if the caution were to come out.
And of course, Alonso on much fresher tires. A moment ago, we just saw Cameron gain one of his laps back, and a little bit of checkup there from Zach Probst right ahead of Alonso, entering the corner with Griffin just ahead too. That's the tricky spot with these different tire strategies. Everyone's running a lot slower lap times on the old rubber, while these guys are flying around here on new tires and maximum grip, and kind of sketchy situations occur a lot.
I actually thought that Zach Probst was going to come down pit road there, just kind of the way it looked, with him pulling to the left like he did, and it seemed like he was slowing down, but Probst did not want to come down pit road, still out there currently P3.
Really dicey there with the 24 and the 15. That's David Durand trying to get around Carl Felver. He's on fresh tires, but just about got in the back of the 15. As you'll see, Alonso Chicano, he'll get by the 29 of Caleb McCurry, and he is now in the lucky dog position, scored in the 6th spot. So those fresh tires, he's put them to good use.
The only thing out of Jason Gracias' strategy we've seen time and time again that these races played out like that is Chicano rolled really quickly up to the back of Carl Felver, but for Jason Gracias, he stayed out long periods of time in these races, and they have come back to help him in the longer run, as he then would have fresher tires. To put this in perspective, Alonso Chicano is on 12-lap-old tires right now. Gracias 78-lap-old tires. You're seeing the difference here. I'll let you know how old Chicano's tires are when Gracias decides to pit. You're going to see the difference then between the 25 and the 1. This 25 feels like Superman now.
Yeah, and he's only... Oh, excuse me, Josh. He's only about 3 seconds behind Jason Gracias to unlap himself off of raw speed, so he might just be in a really good position on the short term once the 1 finally comes in.
I think some of these guys might be trying to set up for a 2-stop race while others are going for the 1-stop strategy. I think that's what Alonso and some of those guys that came down are. They're going to go for 2 stops, go for those fresh tires late in this race when everybody else is going to use these old tires. They're going to go for 1 stop here as we're coming up, with just about 105 laps to go this time. You're going to see some of these guys pit in a couple laps, and other guys are going to pit a second time. But I don't know if that 2-stop strategy is really going to work out.
I want to go with whatever strategy Jason Gracias is on. He seems to know how these short tracks work. He seems to know how the strategy works on these short tracks. The only thing that would throw this whole strategy down the toilet is if a caution were to come out.
Underneath him here, David Durand coming to get one of his 2 laps back. So he'll pass the race leader. Up ahead of him is the 38, Matthew Stotts, who is also yet to come down pit road, looking to go a 2nd lap down here from the 1 of Jason Gracias.
Yeah, unfortunately, that 38, like you said, still on his old tires. He has been running that higher lane the last 10 or 15 laps or so, just really struggling with that truck here in his debut performance, just waiting and begging for new tires here in a couple of laps, I'm sure.
A really tough break for that 38 truck. Was in the lucky dog position when that wreck occurred, but no caution came of it. After that, a lap later, they threw the caution. Andrew Elias was scored in the lucky dog position. So what should have been his lucky dog wound up going elsewhere, and he has been struggling ever since.
Alonso Chicano has caught Jason Gracias. This is not battle for the lead. This is just for Chicano to get his lap back and not have to worry about a lucky dog. He's going to get it. Just has to get underneath Jason Gracias. He's able to get there now. Side by side. And Chicano's going to start to pull away.
The only thing is that might have took too long for him to unlap for him to unlap himself on Gracias if he is doing this two-stop strategy, of course. Might run out of time here when it comes down to the end of the race.
Jeremy Richmond was just hard into the wall. He was able to keep it straight, but right side of his truck is beat in pretty hard. .38 of Matthew Stotts has come down pit road now.
Saw the 98 get squirrely there again off that corner. Not the first time we've seen him in the wall tonight, unfortunately. Running P11 though. So he was not looking forward to this race, Josh, even though, like he joked earlier with us, he said, even though my name's Richmond, not a big fan of this place, and see they were evident on that right side of that 98 truck.
Yeah, he was not looking forward to this one at the start of the practice session.
Looks like the 47 of Brett Bennett's going to roll back on the track. He's going to roll back around. If he's to be believed from what he told me, he's going to run a lap to pass me and then pull back down pit road. But not sure what we'll see out of that 47. Of course, that Rev Group truck. We're going to see a couple other sponsors on that truck. You know, some of Rev Group's associate sponsorships they have in their associate companies. We're going to see them kind of rotating around on that truck. So, not the day he wanted, but you got to still try to limp around and see if he can get a couple spots.
Absolutely not. He was in the last position in the top 6, which is the 6 spots in the points that we're going to carry on into the chase, and he's going to probably lose that spot, unfortunately, tonight. And he was having a very great season up until this race, like we mentioned at the top of the show, back-to-back top 10s before tonight's race.
2 battles going on here into 1 and 2. The battle is for the 8th position, Cameron Caldwell and Justin Durand, and the battle for what would be the 3rd position, Dalton Kelly and Zach Probst.
Both these battles going on at the same time, right next to each other.
And both 1 lap apart.
Justin Durand.
Durand once by the 12 of Caldwell, and just up ahead of them here, it's the 29 of Caleb McCurry, who is currently a lap down. He is the first car 1 lap down, so this is for that lucky dog position once again. Caldwell will prevail, and then Durand's going to follow suit behind him to pass the 29 truck.
Caldwell doing a great job staying in front of Justin Durand. Justin did make a move, at least attempted to, a couple of laps ago. Now you see here Justin Durand rolling a little bit higher line going into 1 and 2.
1 truck on pit road. That's going to pull down those other guys. They're going to try the 1 stop.
And as promised, Alonso Chicano, 29 lap old tires. From the time he came down pit road to now. Jason Gracias down. Carl Felver still out there.
Pretty sure this would be right in the middle or close to the middle of Alonso's pit strategy right now on that 2-stop plan. So could be very interesting. Like you mentioned, Josh, 15 still staying out, and no one's been drugged down to pit road yet after Gracias among these top 3.
Gracias a lap down now. Chicano, as he comes off of turn 2, he's going to be scored in the 4th position now. So that 1 truck's going to have to make up a ton of ground here as this race progresses. But, you know, right now the race lead would go to the 25 of Alonso Chicano once they cycle through, I believe.
And Carl Felver, Dalton Kelly, and Zach Probst have yet to come down pit road. Let's go ahead and take a look at last laps since last pit. You see Carl Felver 97, Dalton Kelly 97, Zach Probst 97.
Krueger pulling into pit road here, making his stop. The thing is, these guys have pretty much made their bed. You know, they're going to go on this one-stop strategy. It is a make or break for them to get to the end here on this one stop. As you see, Jason Gracias is about to unlap himself from the 15 of Carl Felver.
That's how quickly Jason Gracias was able to use those fresh tires.
Ooh, Alonso in a lot of traffic right here.
Able to get by Zach Probst for that third position.
Second time on this set of tires, Alonso's had to pass that 62 truck, and Probst still staying out. Really long run, of course, as you guys mentioned. Still 3 trucks yet to pit on this sequence of pit stops, and Jason Gracias is easily chopping up that gap. He has trimmed down 3 seconds to that 15 truck since he unlapped himself just about 2 laps ago is left, so.
Michael Krueger getting one of his laps back, passing the 15 of Carl Felver.
That'll put Krueger 1 lap down. Currently last out of the trucks that are only 1 lap down, as Krueger is P10, 6 through.
Probst in this time.
Once again, Carl Felver staying out. Carl Felver going to come in this time by now.
Very aggressive pit entrance for that 15 machine. He knows he is going to be in contention for a win if all this plays out right for him. He's on what we expect, a pretty good strategy. He and Jason Gracias, of course, the 2 fastest trucks tonight. But he is going to lose, I would guess, a lap to Alonso Chicano right now, taking this pit stop here. See Chicano down the back straightaway, just past him for that lead, and he's got Dalton Kelly right on his tailgate pretty much as they race for this top spot now.
Dalton really wanted to lead that lap there when Felver pit, but Alonso just got by him at the stripe. So Dalton will not be able to get a lap led there, but he's going to keep stretching it a little bit longer, I believe, as he continues to stay out.
A little sideways there out of Dalton Kelly.
And in the background, Carl Felver just re-entered the racetrack, so he is going to be able to unlap himself on Alonso Chicano momentarily, I believe. A lot fresher tires, obviously, from he to Chicano now. Roles reversed, obviously.
And Carl Felver only 1 lap down here. Now, the difference between Felver and Jason Gracias is almost a full lap. Carl Felver has got a lot of ground to make up if he wants a shot at winning this race. If it comes down to Gracias and Felver. Felver trying to get around race leader Alonso Chicano for his lap back. Felver looks underneath, gets around Chicano.
It looked like Alonso wanted to defend that position. He ran kind of like a defending line through the front straightaway, going right through the center of the track, but Felder wasn't having any of it. And then once the 15 got underneath there, Alonso, of course, forced the issue. And see, he's already put such a huge gap between the two already.
Gap between Gracias and Chicano is 2 seconds now.
And it was 20 seconds, 15 laps ago or so?
Gracias is closing quick.
Hano is closing in on the 12 of Cameron Caldwell as well to lap him. Don't know if something happened to that 12 truck, but he is dropped back to 5th. He is way back from his teammate Justin Duran, who he was battling with for a little bit. So we'll have to see how this kind of pans out here. Lap traffic going to be a factor in this battle for the lead.
Saw their 30 lap tires, of course, 30 laps, difference on the tire between the two, like Josh mentioned before, and using all of that advantage up half a second now. 4 tenths, 3 tenths, it's almost game over for the 25 at this point on this stand of tires. But we think Gracias is probably going to run it to the end here, right, guys?
Well, absolutely. There is no way you would pit a second time here. If you're anybody that pit within the last 20 laps, you're going for a one-stop strategy. You're going to try to run it this one time and not have to worry about pitting again. So, you know, the 2 stops is definitely a risk, but there's a possible reward there that you'll have fresher tires at the end of this race where the others won't.
The good thing about that is you don't have to worry about pitting. The bad thing is you have to save your tires, and Alonso doesn't have to worry about that as much as he gets passed for the lead right here, though, obviously. He's going to try and fight back.
Going to try back to the inside here.
Jace Gracias looking underneath the 12 of Cameron Caldwell to put Caldwell a lap down. He's able to do so with ease. And now Alonso Chicano stuck behind that 12. Chicano to the inside of Caldwell. Caldwell runs wide. Now the question is, how long until Alonso Chicano comes down pit road?
I don't think you'll see him come down until maybe about 50 to go-ish. Around that time frame is when we'll see those guys that are going 2-stop pull in and try to get that second set of tires on, that last set of tires on, see if they can't make some work. But it's going to be close. The only person I think that might benefit from a 2-stop strategy here is 25 of Chicano. I think everybody else is just too far back or too far gone to be able to make moves to where they can make a shot at the win here.
I agree, Dawson, and I think Chicano has a chance at winning. We saw him overtake Gracias on the last stint. I think he has the potential to do it again. Like I mentioned, he doesn't have to worry about conserving the tire, so he's just going to be all out in that last 50 laps, while Gracias, of course, is going to have to save a little bit before we get to that window.
But obviously, all of that can be thrown to the side if we get a yellow here. Anybody has any issue on the track, you know, brings out a yellow, that very much throws that strategy in the trash can and leaves things wide open for anything to work.
And it could completely mess up the running order. We see 3 lead lap trucks right now, and Felver is probably going to close that gap tremendously, so it's going to stay probably this way for quite some time if we do see that caution fly and really jumble up this field.
We only have had 2 cautions tonight. One for the stage break and one for that big accident that took out 4 or 5 drivers, including Mr. Dawson Allen. See there, Alonso Chicano looking to the inside of Justin Duran. Zach Probst trying to use his fresh tires to get around the 20 and the 25. Justin Duran and Alonso Chicano.
Yeah, it's a battle for 4th right behind Alonso, with Zach Probst clearing Justin Duran through turns 3 and 4, and Michael Krueger is going to follow suit. He's up 1 lap down as well to the leaders, trying to follow that 62 machine through.
So all these drivers trying to get around Alonso Chicano, and they're going to want to get up there to Jason Gracias, but Alonso Chicano trying to fight back underneath Zach Probst.
It doesn't have enough tire in it to do that. You know, those fresher tires mean so much more grip there, and they're able to just drive through while Alonso has to struggle to try to get back into it. So they're going to fly by him here, and they're going to try to go hunt down that one truck, but I think it's too little too late for them to make this strategy a winning strategy.
Yeah, the more time he loses to Gracias here is only going to mean more time he has to make up in 50 laps, which is not enough time to do much here at Richmond. So we'll see, obviously, when he yields to pit road, how much he has left to fight for it. And the sooner he pits, probably the better, I would have to guess, because he's just bleeding lap time, of course, to that one truck right now.
Yeah, when he does come down pit road, he doesn't want to be too far behind Jason Gracias either, because it could be a difference of, well, here he comes, right here. 60 to go.
Split it down even. And that's going to pull some of these other guys back here with him too. I believe Justin Duran of the 20 is the one who's a part of this strategy, as is the 12 of Cameron Caldwell, David Durand as well, and Jeremy Richmond. They are all on this two-stop strategy. This would be splitting it in half since that last caution. So let's see how this pans out. 60 laps essentially, try to catch that race leader and see if you can't make something work.
Chicano is one lap down already. Out on pit road. Off. Now on the apron. Gracias line. And it's about 1.5 laps Alonso Chicano has to make up over Jason Gracias in 58 laps here.
He's in a good position here. I think he might have a shot at doing it. We'll have to see.
But as you mentioned, Cameron Caldwell came down pit road, as well as Justin Durand. Caldwell's off pit road. Justin Durand is coming off as we speak. Currently the man to watch, Alonso Chicano, P6, 1 lap down in the MartinPC.com 250 at Richmond Raceway. Zach Probst currently sitting P3. He has Jason Gracias, not too far off, out in the distance, so Probst on his way to catching Gracias, get a lap back.
Jeremy Richmond on pit road here, making his stop. Gonna see if he can make something out of it. I'm going to be honest here. I was kind of expecting Felver to be able to kind of cut into this lead that Jason's had on him. But, 10-lap fresher tires, but it's not really been too much. It's been little by little, but just not enough to really make it count here as we're coming up, 52 laps to go this time by. I just don't see it. The only person I see maybe able to contend for this win is going to be that 25 Alonso Chicano.
David Durand coming down pit road, but yeah, I'm surprised as well there that Carl Felver hasn't been able to cut down that lead, as you were saying. Felver looking to get around Brett Bennett. He's able to do so. Now he has sight set on Caleb McCurry, 2 laps down at 29 machine.
Yeah, Brett's back out there racing. He's been able to get a couple spots here after that incident. He's got one more that's possible for this race. That's the 38 of Matthew Stotts, who has left the session. Yeah, that would be a 14th place finish for Bennett if he's able to continue on and keep it going for 28 laps. That's his gap to that next position, so he's just trying to get that extra spot, those extra points, because those points mean everything.
Yeah, and last season we saw like the old format, way old format, where it was just straight points throughout the whole season. Of course, this year we got this season rather, we got the chase.
Spin on the back, spin on the back! 24, David Duran around into the inside wall. He's going to get it straight, but the caution's going to come out.
Well, that changes everything.
Very surprised that caution flew. They held it until he got back going. He spun off the track. It seemed like another admin call for a top 10 runner spinning out on the back straightaway like Dawson called.
The 24 just got a little too whatever, spun out down the backstretch, hit the wall, got it back fired up and going, but caution flag gonna fly. Strategy, again, throw it out the window because now everybody's gonna have a decent shot at doing anything. So Zach Probst is back on the lead lap here. He is the lucky dog from 3rd place. After that, Dalton Kelly 4th, Michael Krueger 5th, Alonso Chicano is in 6th. Then it's the 20 of Justin Durand. He is in 7th. Caleb McCurry is 8th. Cameron Caldwell is 9th. And then David Durand finds himself in the 10th position. Man, that shakes everything up here, though.
We see our leaders pitting, so this is going to at least allow Alonso to take the wave around if he chooses and get back on the lead lap. So it's very, very, very huge for him if he chooses to do so there. Of course, going to be on very old tires, though. Same tires he would have been on anyway, but 15 lap older tires compared to these guys now.
Yeah, and that's what's going to be the issue, though, is the fact that, you know, these guys are all going to get this wave around. They're not going to be able to pit and take some new tires like the 2 leaders have been able to. So they're going to have to start behind Gracias and behind Felver on old tires. So it's just, if they elect to do that, that's the thing. We see the 42 of Michael Krueger is going to come down pit road, but, you know, it's just not going to work out unless we get another caution here for some of these guys to be able to have a chance to get some new tires and get a run at the leaders.
And that's the danger we talked about with the cautions flying. You put yourself in that position, trap laps down, and could be game over. See, Alonso is not pitting, so it looks like he is going to take that option. Excuse me.
I hope you all unchecked your fast repair.
Here's the biggest one I'm watching out for, Zach Probst. Of course, my pick to win, as I mentioned at the top of the show. Probst, he's going to have 4 fresh tires to be back on the lead lap, and if we get a quick yellow, this will put him right there with Gracias and Felver.
Yeah, but he's going to need that quick yellow because otherwise he's going to be starting back in the back of the pack here. Being the lucky dog, you got to start back behind everybody else, so he's going to have to fight through a lot of traffic here, and it's going to be a really tough challenge for him to get through the field to try to make it work. So it looks like it's going to be Dalton Kelly, Alonso Chicano. They're going to get the wave around here, at least to get on the lead lap. The other wave arounds behind them, I believe, it's the 20 of Justin Durand. It looks like he'll get his lap back. David Durand, the cause of the caution, will get one of his 2 laps back. Caleb McCurry will get his lap back. Cameron Caldwell is going to get his lap back too. So that's going to be the guys who get their lead laps back. So it'll be interesting to see. Some of these guys are going to have to push hard to try to make it as they start to choose here. Looks like Gracias and Probe's going to take the top lane, and Felber's going to take it to the inside.
Yeah, it looks like Probst is going to cycle up here with everyone. So is Kruger being the lucky dog driver right now. The way everything suckered out with more guys taking the wave rounds here coming to the restart, Josh.
5 on the lead lap here. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I was wondering there if Probst... They waved the restart.
Yeah, no one was caught up, I guess, for all
They
those
wanted to let
wave
everybody
rounds.
get
Yep.
caught up here. Yeah, everybody was still trying to catch back up. They wanted to let everybody get caught back up here. So now everybody's caught back up. The field is lined up. So, Josh, Adam, what do you all expect out of this restart here coming around? It'll be 41 laps to go when we get the green flag.
It looks like they've moved Probst back to clean up what I said before. I think Caldwell was going to send it here, and he's not going to be the only one, I don't believe. I think Alonso's going to be hungry way back there, even on the offset tire.
And Alonso is just looking for a quick yellow as well, so that could get him right back up into this thing. Regardless, pace car is in. Our race leader, Jason Gracias, gets on the loud pedal. Carl Felber wasn't quite ready for it. Felber will not be falling behind as Felber gets going.
Yeah, that was pretty standard Jason Gracias restart like we've seen all night. See, 3 wide on the back.
Probst is around.
Contact from Jeremy Richmond. He lost it, and the caution flies again, Josh. More
Man.
chaos back here as everyone tries to single file out now.
I saw 3 wide in turn 2, and I knew it wasn't going to work out. Jeremy Richmond got loose, just hits the 62, and the man who would have benefited most from the caution is going to wind up being the reason for the caution.
That blows for Zach Probst.
But it's big for 3 people. Dalton Kelly and Alonso Chicano are on the lead lap. They'll be able to make a pit stop for fresh tires. And then Michael Kruger's going to get his lap back from the free pass after making that pit stop for those fresh tires as well. So fresh tires on the 42, and we'll also see him on the 45 and 40.
Yeah, that was the wrong place, wrong time for Zach Probst. The 98 got loose, like you said, Dawson. Just got drilled and heavy contact with that wall, too. And like you said, Alonso was in the perfect situation. He wanted a quick yellow, and he got it exactly right when he needed it.
Well, I mean, you know what they say, cautions breed cautions, and it's no surprise that even with, not as many trucks out here, they're still going to wind up getting wadded up together and making contact here.
And we have under 40 laps to go now, currently sitting at 38. Possibly go back green about lap 36, depending on if they get the 1-2 green at the line here. So at this point, it's going to be just kind of a short sprint to the end. So all back on the lead lap, or on the lead lap, is Jason Gracias sitting first, Carl Felber second, Zach Probst P3, Dalton Kelly will be fourth, Alonso Chicano, probably the biggest beneficiary of that caution, P5, and Michael Krueger, the lucky dog, will be P6 behind everybody here to restart this race.
I got my one position that I would have been able to gain after my truck got fixed. So P17 is where we're going to wind up finishing here.
Booth and on the racetrack at the same time, Mr. Dawson Allen.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to see those extra points there. I mean, you know, I'm barely sticking on the points sheet, so I wanted to try to see if I can snatch at least another point or two. So I made sure to do that. So we'll finish at 17th here. We got a shot with one of our teammates here, Dalton Kelly, running 4th. But if I had to pick anybody here, it's hard to pick against Gracias, and it's hard to pick against Chicano here.
That base car's in. Jace Gracias hard on the loud pedal. This time Carl Felver, not such a great restart. Zach Probst does get a great restart. Side by side is 62 in the 15.
And the fresher tires, are they going to matter enough? It's only 10 laps fresher, really. But that's only with about maybe 2 green flag laps. So we'll see how these new tires pay off for these drivers as they start to try to make some positions here. Alonso Chicano trying to work to the outside of the 62 Zach Probst. Not going to work. And now Dalton Kelly's going to come up to his back bumper.
Big bobble for Zach Probst in turn 4. He was inside Carl Felver and he lost handling of the truck there, possibly from that damage we just saw with that last incident. But he's hanging on to that 3rd spot like you mentioned, and he's trying to fight off Alonso, who's diving to the inside into turn 1.
Alonso going to send it deep into turn 1 there, and he's going to try to make a pass work. He drifts up, barely make contact. They're still side by side down the back. Alonso wants the position. Probst does not want to give it up.
Off turn 4, Alonso Chicano had a better exit. Zach Probst still hanging on that outside.
And this is helping the 15 and the 1. They don't have to worry too much, but now the 25 is going to clear. He's going to pull behind him. The 45 of Dalton Kelly, who's going to try to make a move to the inside of Probst.
Probst now clear. Try to defend that position from Dalton Kelly, and this is going to allow Alonso Chicano now to have his sights set on the 15, Carl Felver, and the 1 of Jace Gracias.
Yeah, and Gracias is not pulling away really from Felver. He's been staying consistently with him. You know, I think this 15 might have a chance to make a run at him.
Little block there out of the 62. Zach Probst. Dalton Kelly was trying to make a move. Probst pulled down to the bottom. A little bit to block that move.
Kelly is a lot faster on the exit of the corners compared to the 62, who was diving it in a lot deeper. And it helps Probst, of course, to the center, but it hurts him on the exit so much. And you see he's going to block him again into turn 3. And Dalton Kelly's only going to hit that so many times.
Yeah, Dalton's only going to let him block him a couple more times, and then he's going to just push him up the track and move him out of the way. So this is a game of chicken here between the two of them, and you know I don't think that 62 is going to wind up on the winning end here.
Oh, man. Zach Probst a little bit loose. That allows Dalton Kelly to get to the inside. Side by side now off turn 4. Probst drifts wide. Probst still has the position. Still side by side as Probst has a whole nose ahead of that 45, Dalton Kelly.
But Dalton's going to get the drive off here and turn exit at 2. That's going to try to help him down the backstretch. They're still side by side. Dalton's going to get the run. He's going to clear him here for 4th. Or maybe not yet. Crossover attempt from the 62 of Zach Probst. But not going to get the run. Dalton Kelly is going to clear for the 4th position.
Just ahead of him, Alonso has caught Carl Felver, and they are both within a second of Jason Gracias now. And the 25 is just trying to find a way around that 15 now. He's been riding his tire tracks the last couple of laps, but he can't do anything just yet.
Trying everything he can to get around the 15 truck. He's going to need to do it as soon as he can to try to see if he can set his sights on that 1 truck. Because right now, sticking behind the 15, he's just slowly losing time as his laps wind down here. Make it 24 laps to go this time by.
Alonso Chicano trying everything he can get by Carl Felver. He needs to get by Felver if he wants a chance at Jason Gracias as quickly as he possibly can.
I gotta say, it seems like they're starting to reel back in the one truck here. Slowly but surely, they're putting in time. They are running just slightly faster laps than the race leader. That time, 0.2 faster for the 15 of Carl Felver, so they are gaining time on the race leader here. Ooh, Alonso got the wall.
Yeah, he pushed very, very wide there off at turn 2.
Caution is out.
It's the 24 of David Durand. Slid it off of 4, came to a stop on the front stretch, and that brings out another caution. Where one Durand is having a bit of a bad luck race here. Another incident for the 24. His brother, the 20 of Justin Durand, gonna get the free passes. We see the leaders coming down pit road, except Alonso Chicano. He'll stay out here, as does the 42 of Michael Krueger.
Wow.
This will be interesting here. Alonso's gonna have about 20 lap older tires. Kruger's gonna have about 26 here. So as we come down, that's the Mardon Computers 20 to go. This one's gonna get interesting here with this decision by the 25 and the 42 to stay out.
I'm really surprised here.
Zach Probst gonna get an EOL here from the sounds of things. He used a fast repair on accident. So that 62 just bad to worse here. He'll end up dropping back to the tail end of the line. So he'll need another caution, and hopefully this time it won't be him to get back in contention.
Now, with Alonso and Kruger, they of course pitted on the last caution. Would they be out of tires to pit here? I'm not sure what the tire limit was for tonight would have been.
Alonso should be out of tires. That's why he didn't pit. As for the 42, I'm not too sure. I know he pit that caution, that first caution with the 1 and the 15. That wound up getting him the fresh tires with them to put him in the lucky dog position. But
yeah, the 42 was on the he was on the same strategy as Gracias up until this point. So
well, these drivers,
he might be saving it.
They had 4 tire sets in the pits, and the ones that they started with, so 5 total sets. I'm not so sure.
Alonso has used up his tires, I would say, but I don't know about Kruger. Kruger might be trying to hold on for that one last set of tires if he can, to see if we get another late caution, late enough in this run here where we get an overtime. He can throw on that set of tires and have better tires than everybody else in the field.
And why not? We talked to Alonso earlier on the stage break here, or earlier in the race. He said he wanted to have a different strategy than Gracias because he knew he couldn't beat him on straight-up speed. And Michael Kruger, 2-time winner this year, should be the point leader after tonight. Why not do something different? So maybe it is just a Hail Mary, and you see the 15 trucks ahead of Jason Gracias right now.
You know what?
The 15 won the race off pit road. But yeah, I mean, looking at the points right here, Joseph Lester not in this race, so Kruger's going to jump him. So that's going to be big. It's going to give the points lead to the 42 team. And I'd be interested to see, the 42, of course, with the 2 wins. What more has he got to lose? He can just go for it and see if it works. So they chose that time. It looks like the 25 took the inside lane, as did the 42. The 15 took the outside lane, the 1 in the outside lane as well. Dalton Kelly took the inside, And I believe that leaves that top 5 that are currently on the lead lap up front here, as Durand and Probst had to start out back. So Chicano's using the inside lane.
Very surprised Michael Kruger followed him and did not take the front row, given that he stayed out here on this restart to get track position.
Green flag flies, a huge jump by Chicano.
And here comes Carl Felver. Jason
Kruger's
Gracias.
getting in there.
Yeah, that was a huge stun on that 42. He got lucky he didn't wipe those 2 out.
The one truck coming to the inside of the 15. Alonso's going to hold the bottom line. Felver trying the outside here. The one slips up a little bit.
Side by side for the race lead. Carl Felver right next to Alonso Chicano, trying to get that run off the corner. Caution is out. Jeremy Richmond on the front stretch.
And that's going to be interesting.
Flipped as well.
Who
Zach
the
Probst was
leader
around.
was.
Zach Probst spun. The 98 hit the 44 and slid into the 62. The 62 rolled down the front stretch. From bad to worse for the 62 is Zach Probst, who will find his night pretty much over here on pit road.
Wow.
Looks like Carl Felver did get ahead of Alonso Chicano before that caution came out, so very fortunate for him to be just ahead of that competitor there with that those new tires, of course, on that bolted onto that 15 machine.
42 is going to come and take his final set of tires. He is on pit road here. But yeah, you got to wonder here, with the laps winding down, we're going to get the restart about maybe 10 laps to go, I'd say. How do you go about choosing in this situation if you are the 25, if you are the 1, if you're the 45? How do you pick where you're going to want to try to run here?
Well, right now, I think personally Carl Felver is going to take the top. And Alonso Chicano, I believe, obviously, he's going to want to do the opposite of Felver. So I think Chicano goes to the bottom. Jason Gracias does not want to be stuck behind Alonso Chicano, so I think Gracias takes the top. Now, if Felver does take the bottom, then I think exactly the opposite of what I just said. Chicano's still going to want up the front row, take the top, and Gracias, again, going to want to be behind the 15, so he would take the bottom. But I think the 15 and the 1 would take the top here.
I don't know if it's going to matter enough how, just based on 15 and the 1 haven't really run enough laps, but Michael Kruger just pitted, and I would assume he put his last set of sticker tires on. I don't know if it's going to be enough to prevail over the 2 dominant trucks of the night, but he does have sticker tires on right now, guys.
It's a Hail Mary for a guy who's got 2 wins on the season. You might as well try it. But I don't know. I think even if Felber takes the bottom, I think Chicano follows him. I don't think Chicano tries to take the top lane, but that's just me. We'll see what happens here. I think we choose next time by. So I think we'll see the 15. If he takes the high side, Alonso will go low. But if he goes low, I think Alonso follows him. Try to get the launch with him, try to stay with him, and try to get the move on him here as quick as possible. See if he can't take the lead back.
I just want to say, I'm reading the comments on the stream, and Nick Dornick, classic Nick Dornick comment, huge after that last comment there, or caution rather. So yeah, I do think that was absolutely huge. Both these last couple cautions that came out, that really threw a wrench into how this is going to play out. And
Yep, there it is. Felver goes high, Chicano low, and the 1 truck's going to follow the 15. Dalton Kelly does the same. He goes high. Justin Durand might as well take the bottom. And it looks like Michael Kruger's going to go bottom as well. The only other truck on lead lap is 7th place Cameron Caldwell, but he's got to start at the back after being the lucky dog. But if he can get a quick caution, he can get right back up with the leaders and try to battle for the position. So 9 laps to go on the restart.
Man,
Before we go,
I'm nervous.
make your pick. I gotta pick the 25. I think he's gonna be aggressive here.
I think Felver's got it.
Green flag Alonso doesn't get as good a jump with the 15. The 1 didn't get a good jump either.
No, and for Carl Felver, that is great, knowing that Jason Gracias now side by side with the 25 of Alonso Chicano, and hanging on the outside.
Yeah, they're going to race deep here into this corner. Gracias is not going to be able to put the momentum down. He washed up really high in the center of 3 and 4. He's got the advantage now on Chicano entering turn 1, and he clears that 25 machine. He's a truck length now, just a bumper within that 15 truck. Desperately trying to get back to that top spot he's held on all night, too.
Dalton Kelly on the back bumper of Alonso Chicano. See if he can try to make the move for 3rd, but the battle is for the race lead.
Krueger up to 5th as Justin Duran rode the wall the entire straightaway there. He keeps going, it looks like.
Ooh, a little bobble from the 45 there out of turn 2. Kept it straight and kept it off the wall, but that's going to cost some time to the 25. Make it 6 to go this time by. Felver continues to lead Gracias as we head down into turn 1.
Carl Felver doing a great job staying ahead of Jason Gracias, who hasn't quite looked to make a move. Now Gracias trying to search for something on the high side. 5 laps to go in the MartinPC.com 250.
Dalton Kelly used the bumper to the back of the 25. He's going high here in turns 1 and 2. That's going to open up the door for 3rd place and also 4th place. Michael Krueger's right there with him.
Michael Kruger looking to the low side. Underneath the 25, Alonso Chicano.
Yeah, Dalton Kelly cleared for that position. He's going to try and hope to drive away as Kruger's going to charge to that inside of Alonso and maybe even threat for that 3rd spot on Kelly himself. He is.
They battle back there. Gracias still trying to hunt down the 15, get to his back bumper if he can, but Felver slowly staying ahead, just inching ahead that time by. 3 laps to go.
No real security for Jason Gracias. They were exiting that corner. It looked like he's sending it deep into turn 1. Trying to
make...
Carl Felver a little bit looser off the exit of the corner. That could have helped that 1 truck just a little bit here.
He's putting the pressure on. He's trying to make the 15 make a mistake by sending it to the corners here, and it's starting to work on him a little bit. 2 to go.
15 skating on the exit. We've seen this all night with him. The 1's been stable.
Oh, the 1 makes the move. He gets on the back bumper.
I think Gracias had to lock up the tires a little bit there. That might hurt him.
Michael Kruger in 3rd is just hoping they pile into each other here.
The white flag is waving. We got 1 lap to go. Jason Gracias, I think, caught a little bit of the apron there.
That was a huge dive.
He'll have 1 more chance. I don't think he's going to get there, though.
Too far, too back, I think.
Too far back.
Checkered flag is waving. Carl Felver is a winner in the Pits News Truck Series. Jason Gracias, P2. And P3 belongs to Michael Kruger. Oh, Jason Gracias sideways.
Probably a very dejected Jason Gracias after dominating this race for the 2nd straight season, but just so short there after a series of yellows came out late, guys. I don't think any of us expected to play out like that.
That setup he had there with 2 to go, he got to the inside. He was right there, but he got out of it big time. A huge checkup to not wipe out the 15. And that wound up costing him the race win there. You know, he had to get way out of the gas on the brakes to not wipe him out. So, all in all, in the end, he'll wind at P2. Carl Felver takes home the win.
I think it was a difference in their last pit stop. Carl Felver had a 13.9, whereas Jason Gracias a 14.7. And that was the difference that allowed Carl Felver to take the win over Jason Gracias.
Yeah, there was a monumental pass on that one truck, and it wasn't even on the racetrack. And we've seen that. We've seen Gracias just be so dominant tonight, like we mentioned, and unfortunately, he just unraveled right there from a little bit of a difference from the pit crew.
Well, Adam, I believe you got our race winner, Carl Felver.
How are you guys doing?
Not as good as you, race winner tonight. How does it feel, man?
Feels great. I don't really know that we deserve this one, but we'll take what we can get, I guess. Jason was really fast all night, so shout out to him for that speed, but glad we're here.
Yeah, what were you thinking when you beat him off of pit road there, late in the going with all of these restarts? Do you think that was the factor, or were you worried though, especially those last 3 laps when he's putting the pressure on you?
When we got that caution around lap 200 or 210 or something, my hope was, and the only chance I felt like I had was to get a caution later when everyone wanted to pit and beat him off pit road, and it actually happened. So that I just knew I had to do what I could with it and see if I could hold on to it. Early in the race, I was a little bit quicker short run. I was able to hold him off for I think it was like lap 15 or something when he got around me. So I knew if we'd have a run less than that, I had a shot, and it kind of worked out perfect for us, and I was able to hold on. So
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats again, dude. Do you have any shout outs you'd like to give and any thanks, I should say?
shout out to Jason again. He definitely deserved this one with the longer and speed he had. Everybody at Craig Felver Motors, admins in this league. I know Alonzo and Cam do a lot for making this run, and you guys for taking time out of your day to broadcast this. It's a lot of fun.
Congrats again, dude, on the win, and good luck rest of the year, Carl.
Thank you.
Race winner tonight at Richmond.
That was Carl Felver, driver of the 15 truck. Dawson, I believe you've got our second place finisher.
Yes, I do. Hey, Jason, this is Dawson up in the booth. You got me.
Loud and clear.
Alrighty, man. A second place finish doesn't tell the story about this race. A very dominant performance. What more do you think you needed to get there at the end to pass the 15?
I need the same people that cause cautions every week to not cause a caution. Because if that caution didn't come out, it would have been lights out. I don't know what else to say. I mean, even in qualifying, whenever somebody ties me, iRacing always gives the pole position to whoever the other driver is. So I don't know. I mean, he basically won it off the pit road. So kudos to Carl. Good one for him. I don't know. Just one got away.
Yeah, and the fresh tires, the strategy that was going there, you went on the one stop. Did you get the feeling that maybe those 2 stops would have been able to play a factor, maybe able to try to make a run for the win there as the race went on, if it went green?
Maybe. We'll never know. Same people bring out cautions every week, so until they stop doing that, we'll never know if 2 stops or 1 stops work.
And no hard feelings for that stage 1 move here, right?
No. It is what it is.
All right, well, you got anybody you want to shout out here? Sponsors, teammates, anything?
Go C2 Graphics. Thanks to Cam, Radius Racing, JCTV for the broadcast, and the Pits Truck News for series sponsorship, Grid Network, and everybody else who's a partner on Radius Racing.
Alrighty, well, Thanks for taking time to talk to us. Second place finisher here, Jason Gracias. Again, second place. Doesn't tell the story of the night. With that, we'll bring in Michael Krueger here. Michael, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Dawson.
Yeah, third place finish there. You had a really good shot there in the closing laps. What else do you think you would have needed to try to catch up to that 15-1 truck?
I mean, I don't know if I really would have had anything for Jason and Carl. They were on a whole nother zip code all race long, really. I mean, I did have a little bit fresher tires than them, but I didn't think it was going to matter that much. I mean, maybe if I had a couple more laps, I could have gotten them, but I really don't know. I don't think I really would have caught them. I mean, I'm still really happy, though, with the P3, though.
Yeah, and I want to ask about the strategy call you had. That first caution after that long run, you forego your wave around to go to the pit road and take a set of tires there. It wound up paying off for you in the end, but what was the thought process going through making that call, making that risk?
I mean, I thought I actually really made a mistake there. I mean, I thought I was going to stay on the lead lap if I pit there. I actually did. I actually made a big mistake there. Like, I thought I'd do myself there pitting, and then after one lap and the yellow came out, I got kind of lucky there with the strategy. I mean, it was just a bit of a lucky move there. I thought I was going to be on the lead lap after pitting, but I mean, I was wrong, and it just kind of played into my favor a little bit. I just got a little lucky there at that moment.
Yeah, well, points lead after this race. It should go to you here. Third place finish. Anybody you want to shout out? Sponsors, teammates, anything?
Yeah, I mean, well, first and foremost, I mean, I can't believe I'm really getting the points lead back after this race. Like, I really can't believe it. I mean, I did have it Daytona, but I didn't think like midway through this regular season I'd have the points lead again. But I mean, still, I mean, this wouldn't be possible at all without Alonso and Cam for having this league and having us race every Saturday night. I'd like to thank also Josh and Adam in the booth for commentating these races each Saturday night too, and also Josh again for for being the car owner for PBR and for me also, or for my car. So I'd like to thank him too. And I mean, that's it. I mean, solid points day. I mean, I'm just looking forward to the next one at Homestead, I think.
Alrighty, well, third place run for Michael Krueger. Maybe the one in the 15 tangled up might have had a shot at a third win on the season, but third place is all right for him. Takes points lead after the race. Josh, I think you got a special guest here to interview as well.
Yeah, I do. Dalton Kelly, you got a copy?
I do.
All right, finished fourth here tonight. And pretty good finish last week in Dover. Or I'm sorry. Yeah, great finish at Dover as well. So you've had a couple of great finishes last few weeks. Running pretty good today. What's it like being able to finish up front here?
It's just about keeping my TRD Pro out of trouble and being able to survive some of these races with how they go and maintaining that long run speed. It was really important to not to have that long run speed, which allowed us to stay right up there around top 5, and ultimately with the late cautions and the strategy we were on, it worked out for us to have an extra set towards the end and allowed us to beat out Alonso and Cam and Duran.
Now, were you hoping for a caution there towards the end to, allow you to be able to do this strategy to work successfully, or were you just planning on doing this regardless of how it played out?
It was the plan the entire time with the one stop, but I mean, it worked out. Still gave me a top 5, so I'm not complaining with it. I mean, if it plays out, I don't think I really finish any worse or any better. So basically just break even on the strategies.
All right, well, another great run. Before I let you go, is there any sponsors, team shoutouts you'd like to give?
Obviously, everyone on the team with Andrew, Brian, Brett, Tyler, even though he couldn't make it, and Daddy Dawson over there.
All righty. Well, congrats on the 4th place finish.
Thank you.
That was Dalton Kelly.
All right, you're gonna want a camera on me next race at Homestead. I'm gonna find a way to put him on the wall at some point. So, right. Closing thoughts on the race. What do we think of it?
Well, Dawson, this was, another true classic in the Pit Snooze Truck Series race where it goes green for a lot of this race. I'm surprised that we had the cautions at the end that we had. These drivers, they know how to put on a great show week in and week out, and congrats to Carl Felver.
Yeah, absolutely, Josh. I was shocked to see all those cautions fly at the end, especially a place like Richmond. It's absolutely a possibility, but I didn't expect them to fly the way they did. And we saw a lot of hard racing before those yellows came. And like Jason said, well, who knows what we could have seen if they were able to keep it green, but it's not the way it went. Carl Felver brings it home with the trophy for the first time.
Yeah, it was a good race through and through. Obviously, from my end, not the race we wanted to have. To wind up from the track to the care center, then up at the booth here. But it was a blast. It was a good race all in all. I kind of expected it to happen at some point. Someone was going to make a mistake, and then it would just keep coming one by one. So that's what we got in the end of it. And at the end of the day, even though he was so dominant, Carl Felber was able to pull away and snatch the win out of Jason Gracias' hands.
Well, that's going to do it from us at Richmond Raceway. Next week, we go to Homestead, Miami Speedway down in Florida. So, looking forward to that one. Homestead always puts on great races. I don't expect anything different out of these drivers next week. So, check that out. 1 week from today, with pre-race starting at 7:45 Eastern Time, as always. Once again, I'm Joshua Coppernell, joined in the booth by Adam Kuhn and Dawson Allen a little bit later on in the race. Big thanks to Adam and Dawson coming into the booth. Cameron Caldwell, Alonzo Chicano, the guys behind the Pit Snooze Truck Series and the Pit Snooze themselves for all they do for the league. Martin PC for all that they contribute, and all the drivers, fans. If it wasn't for you guys, Adam and I would not be able to get to do this every week. So big shout out and thank you to you guys. And I believe that's it. So this has been the MartinPC.com 250 at Richmond Raceway. Congrats once again to Carl Felver. We'll see you next week at Homestead.